Hello everyone, FM24 has finally landed and I can't wait to get into a save. So let's get into a save, shall we? So Ange Postecoglou's only just sat down in his managerial chair at Tottenham. I'm kicking him out of it already for this beta save to see if I can win some silverware for Spurs. The media are only predicting us to finish in 7th place. I think we can do much better than that. And with 19.4 million in the transfer budget, I'm excited for this save. As you can see, we've got a strong lineup anyway, with players like Kulusevski, Son, Maddison. We've got Brennan Johnson to come in. We've lost Harry Kane though, so that budget might be going on an out-and-out goal scorer. Now the board are expecting me to sign young players for the future, no over 30-year-olds, which is fine by me, qualify for the Europa League and reach the latter stages of the FA Cup, which I'm sure we can achieve. My first job as Tottenham manager was to send out my best scouts to find a good striker who would bang the goals in this season, which is where I hit my first stumbling block, as the wage budget was way over, so my transfer budget was now depleted and sat at 10 million. Brentford set-piece coach Bernardo Cueva would be my first signing, as I tempted him to join. Our first friendly against the Tottenham second 11 saw Kane grab a penalty and Kulusevski grab a second to wrap up a 2-1 win. We faced much tougher opposition in our next friendly in Red Bull Salzburg, so I went with what I thought was our strongest team until the new signings arrived. Richarlison would start up front, as we had to get used to life without Harry Kane. And the big man took it in his stride as he scored 2 first half goals, which included this screamer. However, the second half saw us fall apart and only Harry Kane could rescue a 4-4 draw. I was really struggling to find a striker for just 10.5 million, and the best I could come up with was Paulo Dybala from Roma. His work permit had been accepted and I just had to adjust the budget to get him over the line. Rumours were circulating that Newcastle were trying to pinch Yves Bissouma from me, but there was no way I was letting this man leave. We picked up a 2-0 win in our next friendly away at Hanover 96, with goals from Maddison and Kulusevski sealing the win. We then travelled to Italy, where we won all 3 games and saw Dybala grab his first goals as he got a hat-trick and a 5-1 win. Young central defender Ashley Phillips had now joined the club from Blackburn, but just 7 days before the new season started, we had devastating news, as Kulusevski was ruled out for 3 to 5 weeks with a groin strain. Centre-back Mickey van der Ven and striker Aleo Veliz had joined the club in time for the new season. So this would be the team I would pick for our first game of the season away at Crystal Palace, where a great finish from Son opened the scoring in the second half. An absolute belter from Pedro Porro made the score 2-0 before substitute Richarlison wrapped up an easy 3-0 win. I was already feeling like we were being cursed by injuries, as Manor Solomon would miss 3 to 5 weeks with a twisted ankle that he had suffered in training. Next up was a home game against Marco Silva's Fulham, where Mickey van der Ven headed in a second half opener. Dybala poked in the second on the 81st minute to wrap up a 2-0 win. The result saw us sitting top of the table after 2 games with 6 points, but it was a long season ahead. Yves Bissouma was attracting more attention as Saudi Arabian side Al Hilal came in with a £40 million offer that I had to decline. Our next game came a week later as we welcomed Sheffield United to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, where a Højbjerg through ball found Son, who rifled in the opening goal. Dybala then scored from the spot before grabbing his second soon after, and just 6 minutes later he wrapped up his hat-trick before substitute Perisic came on to make it 5. We sat at the top of the table after 3 games on 9 points, and we had scored 10 goals and conceded none. Our final game of August saw us travel to Championship side Bristol City for the Carabao Cup second round, where the returning Kulusevski scored the only goal of the game to send us to the next round. However, he suffered more injury heartbreak during the game, as he would miss another 2 weeks with pulled ankle ligaments. So everyone, that's the end of episode 1. We're just up to the end of August, just before transfer deadline day. That'll be in episode 2. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please do that if you don't mind, and hit the like button for me. Until next time for episode 2, goodbye from me.